Accounts Payable, Interview Questions and Answers. An introduction. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you to this particular course. This course comprises of relevant interview questions with answers pertaining to almost all the aspects of accounts payable process. It covers questions on process overview, vendor management, procurement, invoice processing, documentation, payment accounting, controls, fraud controls, payment modes, month close, performance, finance head reviews, etc. Scenario-based questions is the key highlight of this course. I am confident that you will be able to relate to these questions when you attend your next interview and handle the questions exceptionally well in real life scenarios. It has questions relevant for all stages of your career, whether you are a beginner or at a mid-level or at senior levels. Welcome to the course. What are the objectives and outcomes of this course? This course will prepare you for the next big role in accounts payable. You will have the competitive advantage over other potential candidates. This will equip you with the most relevant answers for accounts payable interview questions. You will be able to perform at your best in at least 9 out of 10 interviews. You'll be able to perform better in your current roles, leading to promotion to higher levels. You'll be considered as a subject matter expert. You will have a fair idea of the as-is process and to-be process for accounts paid. You'll become more control conscious and you'll be considered as a valuable resource in accounts payable for any organization. What is the vendor blacklisting? When a supplier is not complying with the specifications, quality, or timeline frequently. If there are frequent billing errors, if the vendor engages in bid rigging or unethical conduct, in such instances, the vendor would be delisted, removed, or suspended, and no further business would be given to this vendor. What is the need for a purchase order? It prevents duplication of order as PO is tracked. It tracks the schedule of upcoming delivery of goods. It helps in preventing price increases as this is a negotiated price. It is a critical document to track approved purchases. What is a DPO? DPO is nothing but a days payable outstanding. It is a financial ratio or measure. This is the average time taken to pay our vendors. A high DPO is desirable from working capital perspective. High DPO can also signal a cash shortfall and our inability to pay vendors on time. Days payable outstanding is computed as follows. Accounts payable divided by cost of goods sold multiplied by number of days in the period. Explain a review of prepaid expenses. Prepaid expenses are future expenses paid in advance. It is first recorded as an asset. Asset value is decreased as and when it is expensed in profit and loss account over a period of time. For example, prepaid insurance paid in advance for 12 months and expensed out every month. A review of this schedule will help in identifying if the expenses are booked correctly. What is SOD? SOD is nothing but segregation of duties. It is an internal control designed to prevent or reduce risk of errors or frauds. Ensure at least two individuals are responsible for separate parts of any task. For example, a maker and checker, or like a reviewer and approver. How important is access reviews? Access reviews are important to restrict unauthorized access. It can be in the form of physical access or system access. Physical access: only authorized team members should have access to physical documents, checks, etc. System access can be role-based access or need-based access. Role-based access can be, if it is the team, they should be allowed to read, write, and modify. And if it is the approver should have access only to approve. And need-based access uh, is more of a view-only access, and it should be restricted to reports. But typically, in an organization, you give it to external parties like auditors. Access reviews should identify any access which needs to be removed or retained. Ideally, if an employee resigns or moves out of the role, the access has to be revoked before the last working day. How do you measure overall AP efficiency? Some of the key metrics are invoice cycle time, percentage of invoices processed rate, which is like a PO invoice and GR match, or a first pass match percentage, cost to process each invoice, percentage of payment errors, incorrect amount processed, percentage of e-invoices, unresolved exception invoices, on-time payment percentage, early payment discount availed percentage. How do you handle invoice disputes? Invoice disputes are typically on account of difference in pricing or quantity, concerns on quality of product, invoicing errors, missing reference to the purchase orders, discount not applied, taxes applied incorrectly, etc. To resolve this, I would notify the vendor and seek clarification or resubmission of correct invoice. I will reject the incorrect invoice from system with reasons. We will also notify the buyer department on the status. Tell me a scenario where you made a wrong payment and how you handled it. I had made a duplicate payment for the same service period to a vendor since the invoice was billed twice under different invoice numbers. However, I took the responsibility for the error and took the following actions. I discussed the issue with the vendor and asked for an immediate refund. I also instructed the vendor to not repeat such inadvertent errors. Established an automated control for duplicate checks, which included the service period as well, with other combination of duplicate checks. It was a learning experience to acknowledge an error, own it up, correct it, and ensure it doesn't recur again.